refined sugar and processed foods. More than a rant about how bad it all is, I want to have a more positive approach. So, I'm going to touch on the harmful effects of these foods and talk about how I went through the process of quitting sugar. Sugar holds many names, and there are more than 60 different names for sugar listed on food labels. Some of them which I can't even pronounce. That's so we wouldn't recognize it or its presence in the products we consume. By sugar I mean sucrose, granulated sugar, white or brown, and corn syrup high in fructose, which is found in more than 3/4 of the products in the food industry. Sugar actually causes the same damage as alcohol. A glass of soda is metabolized the same way as a glass of alcohol. And it makes all the sense in the world that alcohol and sugar behave so similarly, since the alcohol is obtained from the fermentation of the fruit. It is true that everything in excess is bad for you, but what really makes sugar worse than the rest is its addictive potential that makes it so dangerous. Today we consume about 20 times more sugar than we did a century ago. It has gone from being something we added occasionally to a staple of the everyday diet, present in almost all the products in the food industry, pushing us to consume more and more. So how can you still get that delicious sweet soft taste that we all love so much and cut out sugar? Use natural sweeteners. Nature thought it all for us. You can sweeten your recipes with banana, raw honey, dates or chicory root. Sugar addiction is really powerful on your body. That's why I've always kept away from artificial sweeteners. When we cut, if we really want to stop those cravings, it's important to cut out refined sugar in all its forms. That means also cutting wheat flour and grains, at least for the first 2 months. Watch out for weird additives and MSGs as well. All of these could make quitting sugar even more difficult. I went from having whole tubs of ice cream in one sitting to not having any refined sugar. But sometimes I still feel like a recovering addict. It's still a struggle. I increased my intake of protein and fat. They both help balance blood sugar and insulin, and in the case of fats, they can be helpful fighting cravings because of how satiating they are. The industry processes foods to the point of removing their natural properties and making them harmful to our health. We've seen this in the case of fats and oils, but that's also true for sweets and pantry cookies. They modify and add unpronounceable additives to extend products' shelf life, make more explosive flavors, and make them more addictive to us. In the end, it's all about checking labels and sticking to foods that have only one ingredient, or at least not more than 5 ingredients that you can pronounce. To avoid this, it's great to cook at home, because you can choose what to put in your food, and it's a beautiful creative process. One of the sugar staples that we all know about is cookies. Cookies are one of the most processed products you will find in the industry, made with tons of unpronounceable ingredients, and nothing like the ones that you make at home. And even if you make them at home, I mean, sugar just feels like the essential of the cookie recipe. But we also know very well the sugar rush that comes after it, and the sugar crash later on that day. So here, let me show you the cookies that will taste just as good and will make you feel your best.